Hello and welcome to Wooden a channel for intelligent and curious people like you who are searching for human sexuality in the age of artificial intelligence. Now, since artificial intelligence is concerned, so comes the concept of robotics, advanced robotics, humanoid robot partners, sex robots, love dolls, pleasure dolls. But the question remains whether after the physical intimacy is over, whether that your humanoid robot partner or love doll expresses happiness. Do they express happiness, or can they express happiness through these physical activities? Today's question is that, and we will debate, and not only debate but also trying to find the answer and the reasons behind the current. Now, before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, many thanks for your support. I hope in the future I'll get that support as usual. And finally, let me remind you that there is no vulgarity involved in this channel, because I personally detest vulgarity, any kind of vulgarity, any type of vulgarity. Although we discuss human sexuality and sometimes, like this video, sex robots, but that is a purely from technical points of view. So let's come back to our topic again. First of all, what is the mechanism behind a robot expressing happiness through this special type of physical activities, which we called sexual activities? Now look, there are several levels of interactions, right? One is internal state recognition. The first step is internal state recognition. Second step is completing a task successfully. Third step is positive human interaction. And the fourth step is sensor input. There are distinctly four steps, right? And after that, there are also some kind of things involved here, and like emotion mapping, motor control, facial servos, body posture servos, and feedback and adoption kind of things. There are a lot of steps involved behind a robot expressing its happiness after everything is over, just like a humanoid robot partner. Now, look, a robot at the end of the day is a machine. Therefore, it's really very difficult to make everything similar, that your humanoid robot partner does the same thing. You cannot expect that your humanoid robot partner does the same thing that your human partner did in the past, right? It tries to emulate, of course, and the scientists, researchers, technicians, technologists, everyone together, robotists, they work together so that it can be made possible, right? But it's a very complex process. So let's come back to internal state recognition. The robot software first needs to identify its internal state as being happy. This could be based on various factors. These factors are: number one is completing a task successfully. That means you started a kind of physical activity which we might assume that it is physical intimacy. The robot might be programmed to recognize completing this task assigned to it as a positive event, right? So, a physical intimate act, whatever kind of act it is, the robot recognizes it as a positive task, right? Or positive event, triggering an internal happiness flag. Internal happiness flag is kind of Of course, it's a kind of state of mind. I won't say mind here because there is no mind in human robot, but for the sake of our discussion, let's assume that a human robot, its CPU or central processing unit, has a mind, right? We can call it a mind. Then positive human interaction. If the robot receives positive feedback or engages in enjoyable social interaction, its internal state might shift towards happiness, right? And finally, the sensor input, because a robot always comes with a lot of sensors. That sensors takes input so that it can gives output. After all, at the end of the day, it's a machine, input and output. The robot sensors could detect positive stimuli in the environment, like pleasant sounds or bright lights, triggering a happiness response. Now, once the robot recognizes its internal state as happy, it needs to map this state to specific physical expressions. This process involves algorithms that translate emotional states into correspondingly body language cues, which ultimately is a kind of expression through which a robot expresses its happiness through these physical activities or actions that involves, of course, sexual intimacy or physical intimacy. And there are also a lot more like facial servos, the servos controlling the eyebrows, and body posture servos, the servos controlling the torso and limbs that can be adjusted to create an open and uncrossed posture, indicating confidence and receptivity. And finally, the feedback and adaptation. That means the robot sensors might gather feedback on its own expression and the human reactions to them. This feedback can be used to further refine the mapping between internal states and physical expressions, leading to more natural and effective communication over time. So that in future, when you come to that robot again and do the same thing or a little bit different thing, it will express its happiness. I hope it gives you a little bit more information, little bit insights about your humanoid robot partner. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.